Hello, time for an update on the Ridgeline. It's been an interesting week working on it. I'll tell you that. It's been full of frustration, and as they say, the last 5% of every project takes 95% of your time. And for me, it's been a process of 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But it's really expected, and although it is frustrating, it's not a surprise. First of all, when I bought the door, they said it was matched to the paint by the VIN and the paint code, and it's almost matched, but not quite. This door, the match paint is for 2 years earlier, and it's still pearl white, but it's the wrong pearl white. So I'm going to buy another door. The trick will be selling this door, which I paid good money for. I paid over $1,000 for that door, and it's supposed to be right. But I want it to be right, and I'm going to buy another door. Hopefully I'll be able to sell this door and get my money back. It's a very nice door. It's just slightly wrong paint. The second door, I bought one from the same company, and I returned it, or I didn't pick it up. They had it shipped in and I didn't pick it up. I refused it because, first of all, it didn't have chrome around it, and second of all, it was damaged. So then I went to a second used auto parts retailer and I ordered a door, and I went down and picked it up 90 minutes away. And that door had been drug across the gravel or the concrete somehow, and that was a $1,000 door, and I refused to accept that door. They refunded my money on both of those doors, so that was good. And then the second one, the owner of the junkyard, used auto parts, salvage, whatever you want to call it, he called me and he's like, wanted to talk to you because we sure screwed up on that order. I said, yes, you did. I said, what do you want to do? He's like, well, I just wanted to call and talk to you about it. And I was like, well, do you want to make it right? He's like, yeah, I want to make it right. I said, well, you can pay me for 3 hours of my time, 90 minutes each way down there, and $50 for my fuel. Well, how can I do that? I said, you can send me a check for $350. That would make it right. And he's like, oh. I said, how long has your company been in business? He says, since 1956. We're a family-owned company, blah, blah, blah. I said, how long have you been running the business? He said, 26 years. I said, you've been there 26 years, and you took over a business that had been there already, and you still don't know how to run it? What do you want from me? Well, he said, well, I don't know how I can do that. I said, well, you said you wanted to make it right. That's how you make it right. You pay for your mistakes. I said, you need to go down and figure out. They shipped it from Rochester down here. So somebody inspected it, shipped it down here. They received it here, inspected it, and they thought it would be okay to give it to me. Now, I thought maybe that was 2 major mistakes, but the more I thought about it, the more I think what they do, because they immediately offered to make it right when I was there and give me a discount. And I think what they do is they ship doors and parts that are messed up, and then when they come here, they offer you a discount. Like, I'm going to take a 10% discount on a door that's been dragged across the concrete for a truck that's only 3 years old. I mean, there's nothing else wrong with the truck other than the doors now at this point. So it was quite an interesting back and forth. So I contacted a third used auto parts retailer, and I got photographs of the door, and they're having it shipped. It's supposed to be here tomorrow for a new rear door, and I think it's going to be good. Of course, all I got to do is refuse it if it's not, and I can always order another one from any one of these companies. But man, that's going to be my third one. And I'd like to say I've gotten good service from these used auto dealers, but it's been a mixed bag, quite honestly. Some of the parts have been great, some not so good. I was very frustrated when this turned out to be the wrong door, but you know, that's that's such as life. I should have checked it when it came in. I've had it now for 3 months. So honestly, I didn't even contact them to see if they're willing to make it right. Maybe I will, but I feel bad doing that after owning it for 3 months, even though it's just been sitting here. So I changed the differential in the rear, and I put new differential fluid in the rear. I changed the fluid in the transfer case, which this is all-wheel drive, but it does have a transfer case. I used genuine Honda stuff for that. I changed the transmission fluid. I used genuine Honda stuff for that, $20 a quart. And I feel good about that. That's quite a process to do that, to fill it properly, because this doesn't have a dipstick. So you use a fill hole method, but it needs to be the right temperature. You need to run it through the gears. There's a whole process online. I won't bore you with it. So I drove it quite a bit, and I like it for the most part. There's some things I already know I don't like about the truck. I'll go into it when I'm going to do a review of it later, but I still feel good about the truck. I feel good about where we're at. Now, I tried to get the airbag, as I said in the last video, and I was able to locate an airbag, and the guy was a Facebook guy, and he started giving me the runaround, and he didn't answer my text 3 times, and everybody has a cell phone in their pocket all the time. There's no excuse for not answering a message after 3 times. So finally I went to a lot. I found an airbag on eBay, and I went to the lot, and the used auto parts store in Connecticut, and I asked for that airbag. I didn't ask for the one that was on eBay, but I just asked for 21 Ridgeline airbag. And they sold it to me, $515. I put it in. My SRS light is still on. So in my research, I learned that you have to reset the SRS control module. So I can't do that. I could buy a new one or a good used one that doesn't need to be reset, but then it has to be mated to the car at the dealer. They charge $600 to do that. So what they recommend is to send it to a reset company. And I watched online how they do it, and it's totally legit. They put probes on a tiny little computer chip on this module, and they go into their computer and they can reset it so you can't tell it's been an accident. And then you can use it again. So I sent it to Massachusetts. It's a company run. It looks like it's run by a bunch of Ukrainians because their names all sound Ukrainian. So $59 plus shipping. They're going to reset it and send it back to me. I sent it out yesterday. They'll probably get it today or tomorrow, and I should have it back in a couple of days or a few days. And I think that's going to fix my airbag problem. So the next problem is I need to get it registered, which is it's a happy, joyous time, right? And you just know that the state of New York is so happy that I have a new car, and they want to support me and be kind and loving to me. No, none of that is true. They're going to be a pain in the ass, as I expected. And I went online and I got instructions for that. And what I have to do to get this thing with a rebuilt title is, one second. First, I have to take it to a safety inspector who's going to do emissions and safety inspection, which is just a regular safety inspection we have to get done every year here in New York. And on the website it says I can go to the DMV and get a temporary registration to drive it, a one-day pass or whatever. I went to the DMV today. They said I've been here 17 years. I've never once heard of that before. So she called the salvage department, the salvage title department, and they told her that I needed to push it, pull it, or tow it myself to get it safety inspected. So I'm gonna get it safety inspected. I've got some plates. You can see in the window there, I've got registration stickers. You know, if they're gonna be jerks to me, then you know I'm gonna go around the rules a little bit and do what I gotta do. I'm not gonna pay to tow it. That's so stupid. But then they tell you got to get a temporary permit once you get it safety inspected, and it says you got to get the airbags replaced, and it specifically says you can't use used airbags. Then you got to take and send this form to the DMV with a copy of your insurance. You have to insure it already, even though you don't know if you're going to get it inspected, and a copy of your safety inspection, and then you send that off, and then they'll send you an appointment to get it inspected for your rebuilt title inspection. They don't ask you when you're available. They don't ask you anything. They'll just send you a date, and hopefully you can make it. This is the stupidest state, but I expected all this. I expected it to be this stupid, and I was not disappointed. And then once you get through that inspection, you can make a check mark on there and get a temporary driving pass for that one on your form. They're going to mail that back to me. I got to mail it in. They'll mail it back to me with my appointment date. Then I got to take it down there, get it inspected. And then once that's done, I think I have to mail that form. I'm sure they're not going to do it for me. I'm going to have to mail that form to somebody else and then wait 3 to 5 weeks for my title to come back. And then I can go down to DMV and get it registered. I expected it to be ridiculous. I've said this over and over, and it is not any less ridiculous than I thought it would be. So let's hear it for New York. It's great. But anyway, like I said, I love the truck, and I'm happy to be where I am. But it's going to be, I got the door coming. I got the SRS module coming. And I can't get it safety inspected until I get the parking brake working. I forgot all about the parking brake. I wasn't going to do it right away because I have 2 bad cables. So I went down to my local Honda dealer, who is so helpful. They're willing to charge me 100% markup for these cables I can get online for $50 a piece. They're willing to charge me $100 a piece to sell them to me. So I said go ahead and order them because I figured it'd be faster. And then it ended up being I'm waiting on those cables. So it's all good. It's all fine. It's just been a little bit frustrating. But so now I'm going to put the SRS module in. I'm going to put the new emergency parking brake cables on. I'm going to get it safety inspected. Then I'm going to send off my form. Then I'm going to get it salvage rebuilt title inspected. Then I'm going to send off that form. And then I can get my registration. So we're getting near the end. It's just as ridiculous as I expected. Thanks for tuning in, and I'm going to share my next project with you. I've already got it out. So this is my 1995 Dodge Ram Cummins dually. I went down to Tennessee and bought this last year, last year. And I love this truck, but it's a 2-wheel drive truck and it needs to be a 4-wheel drive truck. So I put in a 5-speed and I put in a transfer case, and now I need to put a differential underneath the front end, which the Dodge differential and front end is garbage. You can make it right, but it's not easy and it costs a ton of money. So I'm going to put a different differential underneath the front end with a different suspension and a different steering arrangement, but I'm not going to tell you what it is in this video. I already have it. I'm ready to start working on it. I turned in the license plates today. They charged me $1 to turn them on, and now I can pay to get it re-registered again. I took the insurance off of it because it's going to be off the road for probably 2 or 3 months while I do this front end work. It's going to be all custom, and I'm going to try to film some of this work as I do the work. But I'll give you another close-up of my door, the Ridgeline. As you can see, it is just slightly different color. It is noticeable. I could get it painted, but it's pearl white, and it's so hard to match it. I'd rather just pay the money to get another door. And that's the rear door. But this thing is mint. There's a little bit of mud on there, but I've got new mats, so it's not going to mess up the carpet. But man, that tan leather's nice. I got my SRS airbag in. That's so nice having that done. And I really love having the lane assist and the smart cruise control. And it rides so nice. This is going to be awesome to have. Like I said, a couple more months and I'll be rolling again. are rolling in my Ridgeline. And so that's it for this video. Thanks for tuning in, and stay tuned for the next project, which is going to be some custom fabrication on the Dodge Ram.